Budget is shrinking, but pipeline targets are going up. That's the story for most marketing leaders in B2B SaaS this year. So today I'm going to show you how to plan your paid ads spend for maximum pipeline efficiency. It's a tough year for B2B marketing leaders. They're being asked to get more pipeline with less budget, all while ad costs are through the roof. LinkedIn ads CPMs increased 28% year on year in 2025. Google ads CPCs were up 29% versus the same period. But many of us aren't helping ourselves out. So we approach ad spend allocation by intuition. So let's put 15K to LinkedIn, 25K to Google ads, and we'll throw 5K to Meta and see what happens. This intuition-based approach fails because you haven't allocated budget based on A, what's generating pipeline most efficiently, and B, what channels are actually scalable. And that's exactly how you need to approach budget planning if you want any hope of hitting those lofty pipeline targets with the leaner budgets. Last year, I was in that same position. So we needed to improve EBITDA, which meant hitting tough pipeline targets with a 28% lower budget than the previous year. We actually ended up with a 14% year-on-year decrease in CAC, achieved pipeline targets 3 out of 4 quarters, and finished actually 50% above target for the full year. So let's move on to how to actually maximize pipeline with your budget. Here's the fundamental problem. When you spread insufficient budget across too many targets, you reduce your competitiveness everywhere. I call this audience FOMO, the fear that you'll miss potential buyers if you don't target everyone. But this thinking is kind of backwards. On LinkedIn ads, audience FOMO shows up as huge audiences with painfully low reach and frequency. But you can dramatically improve pipeline acquisition efficiency when you, one, verify if you have enough budget to reach 80% plus of your target audience at a 10 plus frequency over 90 days. Two, if you don't, then you need to shrink your audience so you can hit those targets. These targets matter because they're based on how buyers actually buy. So if 95% of your target audience is out market and 5% is in market in a given quarter, hitting high reach and frequency means you build mental availability within out market audiences so they remember you when they move in market. You also increase your lock surface area to reach in market buyers this quarter so you generate short-term pipeline. You can use our reach ratio budget planning tool linked in the description to calculate whether your budget can hit 80% plus audience penetration and 10 plus frequency for your audience size and CPM. Most B2Bs find they're actually painfully under budgeted and need to shrink audiences. Now, shrinking your audience does mean you'll exclude some potential buyers, but here's what actually happens. By concentrating budget on a smaller audience, you'll reach 3 to 4 times more people within that group at a meaningful frequency. And this is going to dramatically increase your odds of capturing in-market buyers. A small budget plus a big audience basically equals invisibility. You don't get enough frequency to build mental availability or enough penetration to reach in-market buyers. And so the whole program just becomes less efficient. On Google Ads, the same audience FOMO problem manifests differently. So B2Bs try to target more keywords than their budget can handle, which makes them less competitive in every auction. So to fix this, what you're going to want to do is pull pipeline acquisition cost, search impression share, and cost per click data at the keyword level. You want to rank keywords by acquisition cost, cut those significantly above average, typically somewhere in the region of like 2x higher or above. And then you'll calculate the budget needed to maximize search impression share on your remaining high performers using CPC data. If your budget can't hit high search impression share on every keyword, progressively remove those with the highest acquisition costs until the math works. Now you're running a lean list of keywords with the highest likelihood of converting to pipeline, making it much easier to hit your targets. I did this exercise with a prospect last week, and we discovered they'd been spending tens of thousands, literally, on keywords that didn't generate any pipeline at all. Meanwhile, keywords with ludicrously low acquisition costs, I'm talking like $20 to get an SQL, which is insane, had just 10% search impression share. So they weren't visible 90% of the time on the keywords that would be most efficient for them. So if you're looking to become more efficient and get more ROAS from paid ads, that's the exercise to do it. Now, a few marketing leaders are going to be asking, what about channel expansion? So given the rise in ad costs that we discussed, a lot of B2B marketing leaders are looking to traditionally B2C channels like Meta ads and Reddit ads because they have cheaper CPMs. And the logic makes sense, but the execution is usually way off. So they'll pull huge amounts of spend from proven channels like LinkedIn ads, like Google ads, move them to unproven channels, and then they'll see that pipeline just drops off a cliff 3 months later because they took the budget from something that's working into something that wasn't necessarily guaranteed to work. And so for most B2Bs, especially mid-market B2Bs with limited budget, you really need to ignore channel expansion until you hit these criteria. So on LinkedIn ads, you're consistently hitting 80% plus audience penetration and 10 plus frequency with budget left to spare. So that usually looks like maybe you're hitting 20 frequency, which is just not necessary. So that's a lot of wasted budget. You can move into a new channel. The other example is you've exhausted your addressable audience. And so you can't expand targeting any further without sacrificing ICP fit. So what this is going to look like in platform is a plateau where despite increasing the budget, the audience penetration stays the same. That means there's no active users on that platform left to target. On the Google ad side, you're going to see that you've maxed out search impression share on all of those low acquisition cost keywords, or we've reached that similar plateau where you can't push search impression share any higher because the auctions are just too competitive. Now, if you do decide to expand into a B2C channel based on that, you'll want to use a third-party tool like Primer or Vector. This isn't a plug. I'm not getting paid to talk about them. Those are just tools that I've tried and like. These tools allow you to reach your exact ICP instead of relying on platform audience filters, which aren't fit for complex B2B targeting. So to wrap things up, that's everything on the planning paid ads budget for maximum pipeline efficiency. Here's a quick recap so you remember everything. So 1, use the reach ratio budget formula to verify that you can hit 80% audience penetration and 10 plus frequency on LinkedIn. If not, then you'll need to reduce your audience size or increase your budget, but that's not an option for most of us. On the Google ad side, you're going to want to rank keywords by acquisition cost, cut high cost, low performers, and allocate budget to maximize search impression share on the winners. Number 3, ignore channel expansion for the most part until you've pushed proven channels as far as they can go. And when you do expand, make sure to use third-party targeting tools that allow you to accurately target your ICP, which again is going to maximize efficiency of those campaigns. That's everything from me. Make sure to like and subscribe to keep our content manager, Kim, happy. And of course, hit the link in the description if you'd like one of our team to run that math for you in a free marketing plan. Catch you in the next one.